Hello there, fellow humans, and welcome to the new event, which is currently ongoing. Now, what you can get here is if you play 10 battles, you get gold for that. It's not a lot, however, it is still something, which is very nice. You can also get 2 tanks, that is the M41D and the WZ112-2, which is, well, relatively nice. Now, you do have to play quite a lot of battles. I played about 3 hours on stream yesterday. I got this far. So as you can see, it's going to take a decent amount of time to actually get there, especially if you want the WZ. It's going to take quite a while here, but the M41D is a lot easier to achieve. Now, first of all, which one do you want? Which one is better to achieve? Now, the 112-2, let's have a look at this vehicle first. After that, let's look at the M41 as well, and let's go. We start out by looking at the stats of this vehicle, and obviously what you can see is a lot of green over here. Now, 2000 DPM, but that's very normal for a vehicle of this type. It's basically a Russian heavy tank that is painted in a different color. As you can also see by the aim time, the accuracy, all of that. In comparison to the Object 2 FTU, it is slightly more accurate. It is slightly faster as well in terms of the top speed, but not in the powder weight ratio. That isn't great at all. Even though the effective powder weight ratio is higher and then lower. So there is that. And the armor also is slightly worse. So you can see it is a bit worse than the 2 FTU. However, it is not worse by much. And the thing is, you also have the IS-5 here, which, by the way, you can get for very cheap. I'll show you how to do that later, though. So if you want to know how to get the IS-5 for very cheap, stay tuned. And then also, if you compare it to a AMX or a T-42, obviously it does lose out against those tanks because they're just a lot stronger. So overall, it is a very solid vehicle. It's not amazing, but it's fairly good. So let's have a look at the armor as well. So here it is, and I am using the Blitz one this time. Sorry about that last time. But anyway, you have 260mm here, which is very, very solid. Especially against tier 8s and also tier 7s. Most of them aren't going to be able to penetrate. Obviously, tank destroyers aren't going to have a fun time. Lower plate is a weak spot. It's not the biggest, but it is definitely hittable. So try to hide that if you can. 6 degrees under pressure. Could be 5, so not great, but also could be worse. Then the top of the turret is very well angled here, so you're going to bounce all the shots up here. However, obviously, if someone's above you like this, it's going to be a very, very easy pen for them, so watch out for that. And also these cupola sticking out, they can be a weak spot if your enemy does know how to aim and does know how to use premium rounds. For example, a Pershing, for example, with APCR, it's going to go straight through these cupolas, so that's something you have to watch out for. Otherwise, the armor is very solid for this type of tank. And the hull armor is 100mm, so you can side scrape somewhat. However, obviously, you then have to watch out for this plate sticking out. Then again, it's 300mm, so you can side scrape this thing relatively well, which is a nice bonus. So there is that. Now, how do you get the IS-5? Well, the easiest way is you go to your clan, you go to research by clan, you go to level 10, and then here it is. You scroll down all the way, and then IS-5 purchase, and there it is. That's how you get the IS-5 for 1,500 gold. If you're free to play, if you're watching ads for gold, then get to the clan supply level 10. Personal supply and clan supply, you have to do both. And then when you unlock this, you go in here, and you can purchase the IS-5 here. So that is also very good. Now, which one of these two do you get? The WZ112-2 or the M41D? Now, I would recommend you, if you need a tier 8, if you need a tank to grind credits with, WZ is the better option, is the better choice. If you don't have any other credit grinding tanks, then the WZ is the better choice. However, if you just want to have fun, obviously the M41D is a lot easier to get and is a fun little tank if you don't really need it to grind credits with. You can, but it's not going to be as effective. And also, you want to be somewhat of a decent to above average player to make this thing work properly. So let's start off with a 112-2. Here we go with the 112-2. And let's see if we can get a good one here. Would be very nice to achieve that. Now, they got a camera on RU-201, so they're probably going to go hill. So that is going to be somewhat problematic. However, I do see our guys are hopefully also going up there, so that won't be a problem. Never mind, they're not. That's unfortunate. That's... Medium tanks need to be good for you to win the battle. If you have horrible mediums, it is a lot harder to win a battle than if you have horrible heavies. Horrible heavies, they're going to stay alive for a while, right? Because they got armor, they got the fear factor of the high alpha damage. They're going to stay alive for a bit. But a bad medium, they're just going to die and they're going to be useless. And a mediums are those tanks that take the map control for you. So if you don't get that, you're done. So if you play mediums, be good. God dang it. If you play this one as well, obviously. So, E25 camping back there. That is to no surprise of anyone. That is also the... yep, that guy. IE251. And, let's see. Yeah, the MX is not very bright from what he's... from the positioning that I'm seeing him in. Oof. And the IE251 is definitely back there. Or was back there. Obviously 80 kilometers an hour. He could be here at this point, almost. So, let's have a look. Actually, at the 111 here. Horrible tank. Definitely don't recommend it. To buy, especially if you can get this one for free. This one's better by quite a lot. So if you can get this one, then definitely do. If you are looking for a Russian-style premium tank, if you don't have a 2FTU, or if you don't have an IS-5, something like that. If you want a tank like this, then this one can be a good option. If you do have the time to play for it, obviously. Otherwise, there's no point just trying to waste your time for something that you don't care about. It's that simple. So, ouch. That is not great. Alright. There's the RU. He's still there. What a surprise. Alright. That could be some nice damage here. I mean, actually, it's not great in this tank, but it is good enough to about hit shots like this. Obviously, you're not supposed to shoot at this kind of long range, but if you have to, it kind of works sometimes. So that is not too bad. Now, I can peek the 111 again here. Obviously, just take damage where it's the easiest to take. Go. That's not going to pin. I already saw that from a mile away. But yeah, that's unfortunate. Now, the T-28 is still down there, so I'm going to... If I peek here, I have to watch out for... Yep, that. However, you can just sit here and not pin again. Isn't that lovely? That plate is annoying. Alright. Let's see. T-34. Come here. You have no camo. You're very juicy. I like that. Okay. Go here. Back around. Obviously, peeking like this is not great. You could go around here, but I have enough hit points to not care. So that will be fine. There we go. Spin. And there we go. And this game should be very much easily in the bag. I give him sort of a somewhat side-scraping angle that he might not pin, but he did anyway. And now, how do we pin this? Like that. Ugh. Come on, get out of here. 2-5, relatively solid. You can't clip me unless he high rolls, so I'll just sit here. I'll be fine, most likely. So let's see. So we can just go around him like this. He's not gonna... Nope, there we go. That's it. And that's 3k damage. That's pretty solid for this vehicle. This is about what you can do. Now, obviously, it's not a very great game to illustrate the heavy part. So it was like sniping at people. But you can do that as well. So overall, it's a pretty good tank. And if you can get it, if you do want it, then get it. Because, you know, it's free. And even if you can't get it for completely free, as long as this price is no higher than like 3,000 gold, you know, if you need like 2-3k more gold to get it, then I don't think it's a bad idea to do that. And now, it's time for the M41D. Let's look at the fun part. And now here comes the fun part on a horrible map, and that's the M41D. Now, whichever one you pick, that depends on your personal needs. Do you need credits? And are you not a great player? Do you need premium tanks to grind credits with? The WZ is for you. Do you want to just have fun, and are you an experienced player? Then the M41D is the vehicle for you. Now, I wouldn't recommend this tank to anyone that is new to the game or bad at the game, because this thing does require quite a bit of skill to actually play it well. So otherwise, you're just gonna drag your team down, and you're gonna turn into the average Dracula player that dies after 12 seconds. So that is not great. The WZ is the more solid option. However, obviously, it's also the harder to get option, so you don't have a lot of time. Then obviously, the M41D is then also the better option. And obviously, if you can buy the IS-5, you probably don't necessarily need the WZ, so you don't have time for the WZ to get the IS-5, and then you're good. However, if you need tier 8 premiums, definitely recommend going for the WZ, because tier 8 is where you make credits. Every other tier, you pretty much lose time while making credits, which is not great, unless you play the Shinobi, which is overpriced. So, there is that. Alright. Now, obviously, the point of this vehicle is to just run rings around people and to shoot them from the side. Now, on this map, that's not very much possible because this is an absolutely abomination of a map. Basically, what they did here is they took the World Tanks PC map and they removed the whole castle section and then shrunk it down for Blitz, which it's also a horrible map in PC, so no worries. That's how this map is. So, yeah, Borisik could be very easy to take out. There we go. And now there's a Dracula here. Now, this thing does have very good DPM and a very, very nice gun. Now, only 160 alpha damage, though, so that's not very great. And especially against the Dracula, that's going to try to ram you. You can. It works. That's Dracula player right there. So, the point is, the gun's pretty solid for a light tank like this. Obviously, the armor doesn't exist, and it is very, very fast. Now, in terms of how good is it, it is relatively good for a tier 7 light tank. Type 62, I think, is a better pick if you want to do high damage, because that thing has amazing heat penetration. He's just going to keep looking at me till he dies. No, he's not. Oh, there we go. Just have to be more patient than him. There we go. 7-0. Not too bad. That's how you do it with this little tank, even on a horrible map. So two very unusual games that still work. So yeah, basically, this is a nice, fun pick if you want to just have fun, if you want to have a great time. Then this is a pretty good deal. Otherwise, go for the WZ. If you have the time, if you need the credits, then this is your better option. And as always, you know, get the free gold. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to support me, join as a member and check out the links in the description. See you for the next one. Goodbye.